Welcome home to philosophy, where we wonder about everything and anything is possible. Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Corey, the Laughing Philosopher. Life is complicated. The world is complicated, and you are complicated. Figuring out how to live a happy, meaningful life, guided by wisdom and reason, is not easy. Is life a game? What is love? Should I fear death? Is this a just world? Almost from the moment of birth, you've been told how to behave, how to fit in, and how to fulfill other people's expectations. You fear that you will lack importance or cease to exist in the lives of others if you think for yourself and question the rules and roles you've been told define you. Wisdom and reason will remove this illusion so you can live authentically in the world around you, find your true purpose, and become your real self. Welcome to episode number 112. True to oneself. 7 ways integrity shapes our lives. What is integrity? And what are the 7 signs you're living up to your principles? Imagine a person without integrity, named Bob. Now, Bob's not a bad person, but to gain advantage, he can be devious and deceitful. One day, Bob is responsible for managing a crisis at work. An important client's project is way behind schedule, and the client is furious. What's Bob's first reaction? He lies. Instead of admitting to the delay, Bob goes into full spin mode. In an email to the client, he spins a story full of complex jargon, blaming mysterious supply chain issues and technical unforeseeables. Bob even goes so far as to CC half the company on the email, so everyone will see he is doing his best at damage control. In reality, Bob secretly hopes the client won't notice. He's just stalling to buy time and buy the client's goodwill by throwing in a few tearful emojis. When the client finally catches on that nothing's been fixed, Bob doubles down by finger pointing, claiming, "It's out of my hands," and promptly blames the IT department. Bob's created a mess. The company's reputation is dented, and the important client is no closer to their completed project. Now, contrast Bob with Sarah, a person with integrity, managing exactly the same situation. Instead of delaying, ducking, and denying, Sarah immediately takes ownership. She personally phones the client and owns up. "I'm sorry. We dropped the ball, and I'm responsible. Here's what happened. Here's how I'm fixing it. Here's how I'm making sure it won't happen again. And here's my plan to get your project back on track. Let me take care of this for you." The truth can hurt, and Sarah's honesty may sting, but the client will appreciate her transparency and accountability. Sarah fixes the issue, saves the client relationship, and builds trust. Where Bob created confusion, Sarah brought clarity. Where he evaded responsibility, she accepted responsibility. Where Bob damaged the company's reputation, Sarah enhanced it. Without integrity, Bob digs a deeper hole with lame excuses and finger-pointing, while Sarah's integrity handles things with honesty and clarity, even if it means owning up to mistakes. Integrity shapes how we navigate life's challenges. Our character is our fate. What is integrity? Personal integrity is the commitment to do what is right, even when no one is watching, and even when it's painful or inconvenient. Integrity means aligning your actions with your values without compromise, treating others with respect and honesty, and standing by your principles even when it costs you. Integrity isn't about perfection. There is no perfect person or perfect life. Even Jesus chose the wrong friends, got angry, lost his temper, and broke things. Integrity is all about demonstrating a genuine, deeply held commitment to live up to the standards and fulfill the expectations you set for yourself. Everyone believes they possess integrity. We believe what we wish to be true. But no one really knows if he possesses integrity until he is tested. Only then do we realize that we are not the person we pretend to be. Nothing is so easy as deceiving ourselves. What does it mean to demonstrate integrity? Aristotle said, "Character is revealed through action. We are what we repeatedly do." Integrity is not inherited. It is achieved. Aristotle emphasized that we are what we do. We learn by doing. We build up integrity with practice that develops good habits. Ignore what people say they believe about themselves. What you believe doesn't make you good. It's what you do. So let's get to it. How do you show integrity? Practice these 7 habits to become a person of integrity. Be consistent between your words and your actions. Socrates said, "The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be." Integrity means harmony between what one says and what one does. Your words match your actions. You don't just preach, you practice. Actions speak louder than words to a person with integrity. Carl Jung said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." Without integrity, what a person says and what a person does are like an umbrella and a picture of an umbrella. Only one will keep you dry in the rain. Without integrity, a person promises much but delivers little. Great smoke, little fire, said Roy Raines. Are you walking the talk or just talking? Match your words with actions to become a person of integrity. Be accountable. Socrates taught his students to think for themselves. He was convicted of corrupting the minds of young people and sentenced to death. His friends begged Socrates to escape. He refused. Socrates chose to accept responsibility for his actions. He chose to accept his fate and drink poison. Jesus, too, taught his followers to make up their own mind and not just do as they're told. He was convicted of being a troublemaker. Jesus could have kept his mouth shut. He refused. Jesus chose to accept responsibility for his actions. He chose to be accountable and was executed. And Jesus' friends, did they accept accountability? One of his friends stabbed Jesus in the back. Jesus' best friend denied ever knowing him. And his other 10 buddies deserted Jesus, running away and hiding out. Jesus' friends were remarkably poor predictors of their own integrity. Boethius defended an honest man who was accused of government corruption against a mob of accusers. He was arrested and imprisoned, but Boethius refused to back down. In prison, he wrote a philosophy book. It is said that for 400 years in the Middle Ages, everyone's personal library contained 2 books. The other one is the Holy Bible. 2 years after his imprisonment, Boethius was beaten to death with clubs. Socrates, Jesus, and Boethius possessed integrity. They understood the excruciating consequences of accountability, but fearlessly embraced their fate. People without integrity can never understand people with integrity. No one with integrity would want to live without it, even if he possessed all other virtues. Nietzsche said, "And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music." Integrity means accepting responsibility for one's actions, and especially for one's mistakes. No excuses, no blaming others, no finger pointing. Whenever a person doesn't evade blame and takes responsibility, it's an unmistakable sign that he or she has integrity. Be accountable to become a person of integrity. Be non-judgmental. Seneca emphasized how important it is to delay judgment. You should postpone judgment even if it seems clear and evident, because some false things appear to be true. We must always allow for some time to pass. A period of time reveals the truth. In the moment something happens to us, all we know is that it feels pleasant or unpleasant, satisfactory or unsatisfactory. We react to the last thing that happened to us with the first thing we feel. In the heat of the moment, we react not rationally, but emotionally. In time, grass becomes milk. Looking backward, we are able to reason things out with greater clarity. In the moment, what we feel are blessings, looking backward, can really be curses. And what we feel are curses can actually be blessings. Kierkegaard said, "We only understand life looking backward, but we must live looking forward." Avoid labeling and moral judgments. Kierkegaard said, "Once you label me, you negate me. Don't label." When the individual must live up to the expectations of the label, he ceases to exist. The individual's true self is consumed by the label. Only the label exists. The individual's potential for self-knowledge and self-determination is lost. The potential to create ourselves is lost. The potential to realize the dreams we have about ourselves is lost. Be non-judgmental to become a person of integrity. Be open to criticism. A leader with integrity doesn't blame his staff. He or she accepts responsibility and apologizes. Integrity means admitting your mistakes and accepting accountability. You possess integrity when you can accept your failures as well as your successes. Seneca said, "Life is no soft affair. Things will be thrown at you and things will hit you. You will be pushed around, knocked down, and grow tired." There is no perfect life. Everyone makes some mistakes. No one succeeds at everything he tries. At times, everyone fails. Accepting one's mistakes empowers you to grow and to change and to become a better person. You can't learn anything if you think you already know it. Socrates said, "True wisdom begins with knowing you know nothing." We stop learning when we think we know everything. We close up like a box. A box keeps things outside as well as inside. The very things you need to learn and grow and change for the better. Don't deny your mistakes. Accept criticism and embrace them. Learn from them and grow from them. If you try to escape criticism for your mistakes, then you become a box. Learn to see your mistakes as normal and natural as your successes. Sartre said, "Once thrown into the world, we are totally responsible for our actions." Aristotle said, "There is only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Embrace your failures. Own them. Own who you are not as well as who you are. You possess integrity when you own up to your weaknesses and shortcomings. Self-criticism that is valid is a door to self-improvement. Doors are for opening as well as for closing. Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make of it." Be open to criticism to become a person of integrity. Be honest. Kierkegaard fell in love with Regine Olsen. She was a Danish woman who was engaged to the philosopher from September 1840. Kierkegaard genuinely loved Olsen, but he could not reconcile his duties as a husband with his vocation as a philosopher. So, Soren was honest with Regine. On August 11, 1841, he broke off the engagement. Olsen was crushed by Kierkegaard's rejection. Regine threatened to kill herself if Soren did not take her back. He was true to himself, and she never forgave him. Kierkegaard never recovered and remained forever in love with her. Soren Kierkegaard could not have Regine Olsen in life because he had to be honest. So he took her with him into history. Integrity means never lying or misrepresenting the truth, no matter how hard it is to face or how much it hurts. The mouths of those without integrity are filled with lies, half-truths, exaggerations, total falsehoods, and uncritical assumptions. Those without integrity think the truth is whatever one can persuade other people to believe. But beliefs are not facts, just claims. Beliefs are neither evidence nor proof of anything. Aristotle said, "It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it." Those with integrity understand that truth is real. It's a thing, and truth is stubborn. It doesn't care what we believe, and it's true for everyone, even those who don't believe it. Those with integrity understand that retelling a lie makes one a liar himself. So they entertain a thought until they are certain it's true. Those without integrity believe that everything between their ears must be true, or it wouldn't be there in the first place. Jesus faced Pontius Pilate and was asked, "Who are you?" Jesus replied, "I was born to tell the truth." And Pilate responded, "What is truth?" It's a thing. Integrity means striving for the truth, no matter how unpopular, uncomfortable, or painful it is. Be honest to become a person of integrity, even when it hurts, especially then. Be empathetic. Plato said, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle." Integrity means sharing the feelings and emotions of others as if their feelings are your own. It means caring about others as if you mean it. It's not about you, it's about him, it's about her. A person with integrity cares about how others think and feel. Integrity means walking the road chosen by another and thinking and feeling what he or she thinks and feels. Integrity means don't quit when the road gets bumpy. If you're going, integrity means go all the way or don't bother to start. Nietzsche said, "You have your way, I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist." Be empathetic to become a person of integrity. And be humble. Practice humility, not arrogance. Self-confidence, not superiority. "Don't hide your light under a bushel," said Jesus, "but neither cast a shadow over others. Inspire others. Don't belittle them. Tell stories about your failures as often as you do about your successes." Nietzsche wrote a book, but no publisher was willing to publish it. So, at his own expense, Nietzsche self-published 10 copies to send to his friends. Only then did Nietzsche realize that he only had 7 friends. We only know this happened because Nietzsche told this story about himself. Nietzsche practiced humility. Integrity means practicing not only humility in your relationships with others, but equality. Diogenes behaved like a dog. People show favoritism to the wealthy, famous, and powerful. Dogs bark at everyone that deserves barking at. Prestige, fame, and power don't matter. Diogenes was visited by Alexander the Great. Diogenes was busily sifting a pile of bones. "What are you doing?" asked Alexander. Diogenes replied, "I'm searching for your father's bones, but I can't separate them from the bones of slaves." Another time, Alexander said to Diogenes, "If Alexander were not Alexander, he would wish to be Diogenes. Ask me for anything, Diogenes, and I will give it to you." This conversation occurred during the hot summer months as Diogenes was sunbathing. He replied to Alexander, "Move, you're blocking the sun." Be humble to become a person of integrity. Personal integrity is an inner referee blowing a whistle whenever you're about to do something you know is a little underhanded and shady. Integrity is what stops you from sneaking out of the grocery store with those extra grapes you've been sampling. It's what stops you from promising. I'll definitely be there when you know you're not leaving your couch. Integrity is the voice in your head who says, "Come on, damn it. You can be a better person than that." Seneca said, "Let us think of anything that could happen as something that will happen. When one doesn't anticipate a disaster, it weighs more heavily on us. Someday, your integrity will be tested. Will you be ready? Strive to be consistent, accountable, non-judgmental, self-critical, honest, empathetic, and humble. And fear not. Are you ready? My friend, you were born ready." I rarely dedicate episodes of The Laughing Philosopher, not because I don't care about my listeners, but because I've always believed wisdom should be shared like a sunrise, freely, and without singling out just one person. But today, I must make an exception. This episode is dedicated to my friend, Jeanette, in San Diego. Jeanette, your commitment to thinking for yourself and seeking the deeper truths in life is rare and beautiful. In a world that shouts its answers, you quietly ask better questions. You remind us all that, as Socrates said, true wisdom begins with knowing you know nothing. And yet, it's in that humility that you found the courage to keep learning, keep questioning, and keep growing. So, keep following Socrates, Jeanette. The path you've chosen is not the easy one, but it is the noble one. And I am grateful to walk even a small part of it with you.